Hello, everyone. And it's Dan's all about Arsenal and Josh all about Arsenal. We're back again for Monday night podcast, 8:30 p.m. every Monday. And we're reviewing the last week that's gone by. And then we're going to be talking a bit about the Everton game coming up. We've got our predictions and where we stand as well, which was Josh is absolutely killing me. I'll tell you the scores, Josh. I don't know if you worked it out, but absolutely fine, mate. But I've got to play the intro. We'll get into it. And we're going to start talking about Club Brugge Wolves game. Let's get into it. 1, 2. Oh, where is the button? I can do. I've got business.
Listen.
I don't know if did that play for you? The clip?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, it did play for me. It's really weird. Technology's working well today. So, Josh, how are you, mate? How's your week been since we last spoke on Monday?
Yeah, so since we last spoke, I am a year older.
Happy birthday, mate. Jesus Christ. Obviously, I texted you at the time. We put it on like Instagram and what have you, but I haven't actually said it in person. But happy birthday, mate. Happy, you old man.
Yeah, I'm old now, middle-aged. That's if I live to 80, of course, which would be nice.
That is true, to be fair. Where are we? So, but I mean, did you do much for your birthday? Being an Arsenal fan, I see you got quite a few new Arsenal shirts and balloons and what have you.
A centenary year. I don't know if you can see it there.
That is beautiful. So, who bought you this?
This was actually from my father-in-law, who's a big Liverpool fan. I treated myself to the third kit.
This been on,
yeah,
but a long sleeve, which I do really like. It's really nice.
That's that, isn't it? I've got a balloon because I'm 40, and that's what you have when you're 40 is balloons.
Of course, it's got to be done. Got to be done, mate.
Yeah, and like when we went to the game and everything like that.
Yes.
So game that was kind of part of my birthday treat, and we went away. Me and the missus went away, child-free.
Nice.
For a long weekend.
Best present anyone could ask for, I think, mate.
Yes, yeah. No, it was a good way. It does mean that I've sort of had to pay a bit of catch up with the Wolves game because obviously I was away. But
priorities, yeah. It's all good. We're going to catch up. We'll go through it. But as we like to go through it, because it's recapping the whole week, I think we start with the Champions League game where we've got Club Brugge, which, outstanding game. Now, I know you've watched this game properly, full, all the way. Talk to me about Club Brugge. We're obviously away in Bruges, which is a beautiful place, which I do want to visit. I saw a lot of pictures, photos from fans out there. But what's your take on the game? Because Champions League, we are still undefeated, top of the table, flying high.
We've only conceded one goal, which I think, which was against Bayern. So yeah, all in all, I think Champions League is full of positives.
100%.
I think Club Brugge game we completely dominated. Never really looked in doubt. We looked, good going forward. Thought Noni was excellent. Fully deserved his man of the match, and his first goal was unbelievable. Second goal, Mendy's run was really nice, and his sort of like ball, I think it just sort of threw everyone out, and obviously Noni was there.
For sure. That was off his weaker foot, wasn't it, from that goal, which was perfect. It was really, really good from Zubi. And when we scored, because that was Madueke was 25 minutes in, and I think when I was watching it, mate, it was as wingers, you going like, beat your man, just beat your man.
Yeah.
And it was like, and all of a sudden he just dropped a shoulder. The guy fell over pretty much, and he was off. And I was like, go on, Noni. And then I didn't expect him. I don't think anyone expected him to hit the shot as sweetly as he did. But what a goal to score! It was unbelievable. But I think there's the the goal of the season and all that kind of stuff. But at least of the tournament, probably up there from what I've seen of us anyway. Unbelievable goal, and he deserved the man of the match for me as well. It was brilliant.
Yeah. And Martinelli again, coming up trumps with another goal as well.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
fantastic, wasn't it? It was a really, really good goal, and I just realised I've got the chat box I need to bring up. Got a few people in the chat box. Hi, you got hi to Shree, hi to Samuel. We've got a few shout outs as well because I've had a few people contact me. I did say I'll shout out in the from the Instagram channel and stuff like that. People are supporting, which are jumping in. I've got other people, Joshua, reaching out who are from other YouTube channels and stuff, which is really good. We've got Colour of Arsenal. Hopefully, he's just dropping in. Obviously, you might have different names on here. And I got a guy called Luca, who we've just subscribed together. He does different channels. He actually does a channel about MK Dons, but obviously follows a bit of Arsenal and stuff as well. So shout out to you, mate. I said I'll drop you in. And obviously, anyone dropping in who wants to chat, obviously, we're an interactive, friendly podcast, but we just want to talk about Arsenal, what's happened over the last week, and what's going forward as well. So if you want to get involved, drop us a question. Let us know what your thoughts are on the games. We love to hear from you all. And that's what it's all about. Our last videos, we've been hitting some really fantastic numbers for a small channel. We are on our way to 1,000 subscribers as well, Josh. We're literally, 30 off, something stupid, 20 off maybe. So we're nearly there. So we're road to the 1,000. So if you're watching for the first time, you're dropping in, subscribe, like, comment, hype, all that kind of stuff you can do on YouTube now. Whatever gets people here, that's what we want. So I really appreciate everyone dropping in. But we love a question as well because it gives us some more content to fill. But from going back, we're talking about the Club Brugge game. We're going to go on to then the Wolves game, which obviously was a big talking point over the weekend. Obviously, we talked about briefly the Zubamendi goal, which was a fantastic delivery of his left weaker foot. And it was a tap-in, really, for Madueke, because he was a bit like, it was a tap-in. He literally said it himself, but he waited perfectly. You kind of saw him, because I was sort of any offsides or anything like that. But it was miles away. He just got forgotten about, and he was the easiest goal I think he'll ever score. It was perfect.
I think it was all in the ball from Zubamendi. It drew the defenders in, and then because the way it was sort of floated, it kind of made them sort of almost go towards the ball, and then they were like stuck, and they're like, "Oh no, we're in no man's land. Nonny's
Missed
there."
this one. Bang. And it was perfect, but it was a great delivery. I mean, again, not expected from. I don't think Sinzubi even cross a ball from out in that way. I think the other side, right hand side, he's had plenty.
The other side, but it's nice to see him get a bit more forward because obviously he is a creative player. I know he's obviously a deep midfielder, but he is, you can see it in him that he's got that creative flair and he can beat a player, he can put good balls in.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, he's always a bit of the heartbeat of the midfield, kind of keeping the ball moving. And he can score a goal. We've seen him, pop up and score a couple. I'd like to see him score more, but I know he's not that as forward normally. But I do like what he does, and very creative actually in this match specifically, because I think he set up. He got the assist for the Madueke goal, the first one, which obviously it's just a pass, and he just run on and scored a blinder. The second one deserved completely, from that side of things. But it was a solid result. And then obviously, like you said, Martinelli, he come and just killed the game off completely. When did that go? And that was the 56th minute. And after that, we could just rotate. So, but with rotation, sorry, Josh, go on.
Gabby, Jesus, come on, I think it was nice to see.
He did. Jesus is back.
Just in time for Christmas.
Absolutely. That's actually a really good line. I could change it. That's really good, Josh. But Jesus has returned. He's been resurrected.
Awesome. Yeah, it was good. It was good to see him back, and he looks, like I say, he looks sharp. He looks sort of hungry to obviously show that he can be a part of the team. I think with a lot of the media speculation around him and us potentially trying to offload him, I think.
I'd say that.
Even
as an option.
Yeah, and I think with the fact that we're so injury prone at the moment, sure. Still out for a little bit, but looking like he might come back soon. Obviously, Gyökeres has only just come back, so it's good to have options. And they're all different sort of strikers, so they can all offer something different on a day. Even though this Christmas schedule doesn't seem as packed as it would normally be, like
it's nice we've got a week off, to be honest with you, and the build up to it.
normally this time of year it's like fixture after fixture, 3 days. But yeah, we seem to have some time off, which is great. But at the same time, we know we've got a lot of fixtures coming up, a lot of cup games. Obviously, the FA Cup will start in the new year,
Mm.
and I think realistically, we have got to try and win it all. You know,
Yeah,
we
I think we've got it, mate.
try and win it all, and then whatever we do win, brilliant.
Hmm. Yeah, no, exactly that. So, just had a dropped a chat. I'm going to drop this in here quickly because I'm going to do it as we go, as like we normally do. So, you've got Sonny Cadbury. Are we worried at all? I mean, I don't know what it's reference to. Is that just the league in general? Is that just player injuries? Be a bit more specific if you can, just so we can answer the question for you. But there's no real concerns at the moment. And we sort of said before we went on, we were sort of just talking, saying we're still top of the league and we're still top of the Champions League. There's nothing really to worry about. So it depends in what context. So let us know, Sonny, what you think we're worried about. As Arsenal fans, maybe touching on the Wolves game might be something that he's putting reference to. But no, not frustrated maybe because we're better than that. We've had a lot of games back to back to back. Like Ben
Yeah,
White getting injured is frustrating because he's played 4 games in a row in
yeah.
10 days, I think it is.
Well, so it is frustrating. Um, And I think, like I said to you before when we were chatting before coming on live, that I still don't feel like we've sort of hit fourth or fifth gear yet. Like I feel like we've and this is throughout the whole season so far. Um, I think we've got so much more to give. I think it's probably down to the fact that we have got so many injuries and we've had to
Mhm.
adapt game on game or week on week because of injuries that we've not reached that sort of full potential of how we can actually play.
Yeah,
And obviously all like rival fans and stuff will, have their little say on everything and kind of
of course.
put it all down and sort of, they're bottling it already. I mean, it's Christmas. We can't bottle it at Christmas.
No.
And we're still top. Like, we've been top. And yes, okay, we've dropped points here and but at the same time,
Hmm.
I think
Who
if
who hasn't?
beginning of the season that you was 2 points clear at Christmas, would you take it? Of course.
Of course you would, mate. Absolutely. You'd be buzzing.
I'm only concerned about where we finish at the end of the season.
Mm.
We finish
That's the main thing.
where we are now, or next week, or even if we do drop a few more points and City overtake us, if we can then beat them, for instance, at
Hmm.
their place, and again
Yeah.
silence some of the
Oh,
pundits. It's
yeah.
the same. It's the Jamie O'Hara's on Talksport. It's the
Hmm.
Paul Scully. Um, it's them sort of people that you kind of constantly hear them going, "Oh, then they can't play in big games and all this." Like, oh, give it a rest. You was a good
Yeah.
player,
Yeah. Exactly, mate. Get back in your box.
but yeah,
Yeah. No, no, fair. I mean, Sonny's put in more in the chat, Josh. He said, are we worried about the performance this early and Man City are coming into their own now? I mean, my initial thoughts, I suppose, would be, performances, bearing in mind the amount of injuries. The only thing I would say, the difference without Gabriel and Saliba, we've not lost just something defensively, where we can see we're conceding more, but we're still managing to win. But also what they bring, especially Gabriel going forward and set pieces, I think that's one of the things you will see come back when they return. But obviously, Saliba came back on Sunday, earlier because we're short in defence. Can you believe it? Which is mental. And also, I think the context behind, I think the Ben White that we just said a minute ago, playing a lot of games, playing 4 games of 90 minutes pretty much, you feel like maybe with the injury coming back, give him a rest, put Skelly on, have Timber right back rather, because they messed it around. They're kind of fudging together a bit of a defence at the moment, which isn't
yeah,
great.
no, no, it's not. And I would say that's my only worry. It's not so much our performances and stuff. Like, yeah, obviously, I want to see us play well. I want to see us, beat bottom of the league 4-5-0. I mean, yeah, who doesn't want to see that as an Arsenal fan?
Hmm.
But at the still a result. We still won. Let's move on. Let's try and build some momentum again of winning games. I mean, I don't think my only worry is any more injuries. We are gonna start struggling, because even though we have got this massive squad, as soon as you then start having to turn to people like Marley Salmon,
Yeah.
to either play at right or at centre back, because we've got none.
Hmm. It's the trouble, isn't it?
Even though for 4 seasons we built this like defensive like core to our team that has sort of meant that we shouldn't ever really struggle. But at the same time, like, if they're all out injured, you're going to struggle.
What are you going to do?
You can.
Well, look at Bruges. I mean, they put Norgard in midweek actually, and he goes. In fairness, he done an all right job.
All right, he didn't have a lot to do, obviously, but what he did have to do, he was quite tidy. I thought he looked, comfortable on the ball, which
Mm,
you'd expect, builder.
yeah,
Yeah,
I think he's played there in his career, isn't he? He played there for Brentford, I think about half a dozen times or something like that, but nothing too strenuous.
yeah, yeah, and he is more of a defensive midfielder anyway. So yeah, slotting
Yeah.
into shouldn't really be an issue at that level. But
Mm.
yeah,
We'll go
and
through. I'll go through.
perfect game for him to actually play that position, because
Yeah.
um, dominated in terms of possession. Being in their half the majority of the time,
Hmm.
he didn't have an awful lot to do. But like
No.
I say, what he did have to do, he did well.
Yeah.
And he's a tidy
It's
footballer.
just nice to see him. Just nice to see him. I think he's a player that we just haven't seen anything of, and it's nice to actually see him there because I think he was a good player. He's a good player, and he's there as a squad player. But I think it's just great to get him in, see what he can do. He's great if he's going to do some covering. Great, I'm happy for that. In the bigger teams, I would worry. Club Brugge, we weren't particularly worried about. I just want to touch on the stats for the Bruges game as well, Josh. If that's cool. Because I think it's always good to see kind of expectations, expected goals, and stuff like that. I mean, they had an expected goal for them at 1.1 because they did have in for the first half. They were actually, they went for it a little bit. We did have a few shots. Do you know how many shots they took, Josh?
I do not know.
18, 18 shots.
What, Club Brugge had 18
Yeah.
shots? Did
Club
they really?
Brugge, 18 shots, 7 on target. So actually, because we were saying, oh, Kepa's probably going to come in, but actually, David Raya was kept quite busy that night on that first half. Second half, it dropped away completely. But that first half, they were actually going, oh, this could be. It's only when Madueke scored, it kind of settled down a bit. They were still going for it. We only had like 20 shots, but 11 on target, and our
Yeah.
XG was 2.99, which is pretty much bang on. But possession wise, 51% to us, 49 to them. So it's not like we dominated possession in that game.
No, I think it was more in spells. We looked a lot more dominant, and then obviously, especially once we got the goals, we sort of sat back a little bit and let them have the ball,
Mhm.
because that is what I do quite like it about Arsenal, is that we can transition from that kind of dominant possession into sort of more defensive block type sort of roles.
Mhm.
Which I think, yeah, it's good that we can do that. But obviously, I want to see more attacking football.
Yeah, and that's one thing I think Arteta was being criticised about his forward play, even though he's the manager who scored the most goals for an Arsenal team. Was it last season, the season before? He can do stuff going forward, but he's very much a defensively core manager. I can't hear you, mate. Sorry.
We've scored over 100 goals in 2025.
Yes, yeah, that bonkers season. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? Now, Sonny's been, thanks, Sonny, for being involved in the chat, mate. And he just sort of said, I think if we lose Rice for a reasonable period, I think we'll be in a very bad situation. Which, I mean, he's a real key player, I think, this year. And obviously, he's been working his
Yeah.
socks off. And he was actually ill for this game, wasn't he?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's where you notice the difference in terms of, obviously, pundits and even ourselves go on about how Zubamendi sort of tries to dictate the game in terms of like the passing, the pace of the game.
Mm.
But I think Rice is detrimental to the pace that we play the game at, and that's going forward and defending that
Hmm.
sort of stuff as well. Like for him, um,
Yeah.
where he sort of shows how effective he is, and what an influence he is on the team as a whole.
Do you think
Obviously,
he had more impact him being out, Josh, than like an Odegaard? Oh, right.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, just because I think the way that he plays the game, like box to box, I think that actually sets the tone for us, and and going forward, and attacking. I think he sort of sets the tone. I
Mm.
think Odegaard we miss because he's so creative, and he can conjure something out of nothing.
Yeah.
Um, but then at the same time, if he's not quite on his game, he can be quite predictable, and he's a bit lightweight. So
Mm.
you know, yes, he runs forever. Like, this is Odegaard I'm talking about.
Yeah.
He'll press high, and he kind of obviously he leads by example as a captain. But if he does lose the ball, it's a bit sort of like, ugh, do you know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. It is frustrating.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's all I would say on the Odegaard rights
Mm.
thing. Yeah,
Fair enough. But I mean, to round off, I think the Club Brugge situation. I think it was a solid result with a rotated team away in Europe, and what it does do if we bring the little table up, which put Josh in the corner of me. But looking at the table, yeah, the logo's blocking it a little bit. Let me just take it off for a second. But you've got, us top of the league, which is fantastic. So you can see it clearly there. So obviously you've got Arsenal 6 from 6, 17 goals, one conceded. What a phenomenal kind of run we are on. It's just unbelievable, actually, when you look at this. And I think it's the first time that an Arsenal team, well, I don't know if it's any team, but an Arsenal team won six games in a row in the Champions League group stage, which is another record ticked off. Fantastic.
yeah, and I feel like our game's kind of more built for Europe. I sort of said it last season as well.
Mm.
That
I agree. We set up well for Europe, aren't we? I think we played really well.
sort of that's proving and showing at the moment. The only thing I would say is, with this whole, like, the new format of the Champions League in this, yes, obviously it's nice to finish top, but it doesn't mean a thing, because Liverpool were top last season, and they finished top of the league phase,
Hmm.
and in the first round of the knockouts, and
True.
so, it doesn't really matter as much yet. All I want to see is that we can continue um, to win games, and that gives you the momentum and the belief that when it does come to the knockout games, that we
Hmm.
can do it. Um,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
What's interesting as well is some of the placements of these other teams. Like when you look at it, we've got quite a lot of the Prem teams are doing fairly well. They're in and amongst it. Obviously, Man City in fourth. Who else? We've got Liverpool in. They had a good win away, didn't they, to Inter, who we've got coming up as well, which was the 1-0 they got. I saw bits of the game. I didn't really, I don't pay too much attention to Liverpool because they're kind of out of my mind at the moment now. Tottenham are in and around it, not doing terribly, but they haven't done fantastic either. But they're in there. Newcastle, Chelsea. So just shows you, look at Barcelona. Real Madrid's clinging on seventh, but even
yeah,
Atletico Madrid, bear in mind, we absolutely smashed them.
yeah,
They're still in the top 8 to automatically go through as it stands. So it is interesting, and I think we've got. So is it Inter? I think it's Inter next, isn't it? And then we've got a team I can't even pronounce, which I think should be a given, really, you'd think.
yeah,
But then we thought about that with Wolves.
yeah. Well, and this is it. This is what I mean in terms of, like, my only worry is that if we continue to keep having these injuries, um, that we are going to end up dropping points, whether that's draws, whether that's losses. I really want to. I don't know what it is, but there was something I see the other week about one of our, like, fitness people was left the club or something. Did you see
Oh
that?
yeah, soft tissue, like someone, wasn't it? They were like, "Oh, that's suspicious." They've been
Yeah,
sacked. and I think they'd moved to go and do a business or something like that. So it's nothing relating, but the media jump on it straight away, and we're like, oh, he's this is why everyone's injured.
Yeah, he's the scapegoat now.
Yeah, there's always someone, and it's going to help him with his business, I'm sure. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, no, but it'd be interesting to see if and the players we got coming back. I mean, again, Kai Havertz, like, it'd be good to see him back.
I think everyone's even more excited for Kai back with. I think, and we've got to pretty talk about it because obviously, in the Bruges game and the Wolves game, you've got Gyökeres starting and not really doing tons. And I think there's a lot of criticism. I think Jesus had in his first cameo, I think he had more touches than Gyökeres did,
Yeah,
and that was a cause for concern, I think, for a lot of people. And I'm still not giving
feel
up
sorry.
on Gyökeres. I feel sorry for
No,
him.
no, I feel sorry for him in the fact that he's a bagsman. He's the sort of bloke that's going to be in the right area, which I think he has been. I think
Mm,
he's been in good areas. He's just not had the service, and I think he just needs a couple of goals, couple of like where there's like a ball through from Odegaard, or even like someone like Zubamendi, like put the ball through that he can
mhm.
run onto, defender for pace and power,
Yeah.
and even if it's like from like the edge or just inside the box, and he absolutely leathers it because he can.
He's got power, mate.
Breaks the net. Do you know what I mean? That's what he needs,
Yeah,
like a goal, like
yeah.
bit of confidence, and for I think also just for the other guys, like the other attacking minded players, to sort of go like, oh right, that's what we've got to do.
Yeah,
Do you know?
like, how hard is it? It is frustrating. It is frustrating to watch. Like I pointed out in the last pod.
I had a proper striker for years,
Mm.
really.
Just not used to it, are they?
I mean, in the whole Arteta era, really. I mean, he got rid of Aubameyang fairly quick, and he was probably our last proper striker.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We didn't
you
buy
know,
Havertz for a striker, really, did he?
players like Lacazette, like
Mm.
he was a good striker, but he was more of a he'd drift out wide, he could play in a front three,
Hmm.
and then obviously had like a Aubameyang more through the middle. Um, but yeah, I just think now we've got someone who can score goals. But I mean, like most players, but especially strikers, they're such confidence players. Like all they need is
100.
a little boost of confidence, and then they'll be away.
Hmm.
Um, and that's all I think he needs. But I
Yeah.
just feel like not supplying him enough. We're not giving him enough.
Mm.
Um, Very reliant and doing the same kind of moves in terms of the triangles with Saka, and whether it be Timber or White and Odegaard. It's all the same kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Even side with Martinelli, he might beat a player and then he'll turn back and pass it backwards. It's all the same kind of.
Yeah.
It's almost a little bit boring.
Yeah. Put it down the middle. We're so heavy on the right.
Yeah,
Go
let's
down the
try
middle. Try it. Flick it over. We had a few games where they were flicking it over and having success, weren't they? There was a couple of goals. Frustrating, man.
the Trossard and things like that.
Mm.
I think we need to be a little bit more inventive and kind of change it up a little bit, and um,
Yeah.
keep the ball, but not always passing it backwards or sideways. Let's like keep the ball, but let's keep moving forward. Let's keep
Hmm.
pro. Let's have shots like Noni did. From you're in a space where
Yeah.
that normally, if we had a player in that space, they probably wouldn't shoot. They'd probably
No.
look to play it out wide to Saka to then put a cross in, or for him to cut in and have
Yeah.
a shot.
And that's pretty much Wolves on Sunday. Sorry, Saturday. And it was a
Yeah,
lot of Saka. It was heavy on. It was all on the right hand side, Josh. I mean, that's why Saka got man of the match, because everything went through him literally. And I mean, to touch on the Wolves game, because I've written down like the first half chance, if that's cool, and just going to run through because it was literally Saka. So Saka crossed in. First chance we had was Timber header. Probably should have scored. Very
yeah,
close. Next one, Rice header from Saka cross. Straight after we were knocking on the door. They just could have put it away, and it was so frustrating. Then there was a mistake by Zubamendi. And I don't know if you've seen this. You got Huang, who was flying. He literally, but they broke. There was no one back there. It was open. And in fairness to Raya, and they all got back quick. But that's why I think Ben White got injured off the running back. And Raya made a decent save. You know, it was a good opportunity, but he got down quick, saved well. But again, mistakes were made. You know, against bottom side, 2 points Wolves. There was a Rice corner. Martinelli should have scored. That was the header, I think, where he took it wrong. I don't know if you'd seen the replay, Josh, but he kind of took it and he just didn't jump. He was planting his feet still, and it just went across the goal. And he was, if he just little shimmy, he would have done it. And there's all these little things, if Mutts and babies, but we always thought, it's coming, and they just couldn't put away the chances. The clinicalness that we're kind of missing, which is the frustration. And there was a fantastic cross, really. It was a low cross from Saka, which Gyökeres was sliding to get, just missed it. It was Martinelli who then bashed it into the side net. But I think, in fairness, it was good defending, come off a shin. But it was frustrating to watch. Like, right, it's 3-0. We predicted 4-1, 3-0, me and you. And then to take that long to bloody score. And not only did we not score, it's the own goal thing. I mean, and fair play to, again, Saka. You know, this would not have happened if Saka wasn't there.
Cross, obviously, from Saka for the goal. Obviously, it's very fortunate the way that it's gone in, but this is what I find frustrating, is that all these little things add up as ammo for rival fans.
Yeah, exactly.
Into us. And because at the end of the day, we all know that all the pundits, they love Man City because of Pep. They think Pep's amazing, and they because of their legacy or whatever. And you know, and their fan base, because it's all over the world, and that's about it. Everyone else is, you know, everyone else, as soon as they slip slightly, even though we're still top, like we said, they pounce on it like, you know.
Let's all talk about they're only 2 points behind you.
You know, give it a rest. We'll see. We'll see at the end. If last 5 games we suddenly drop off and lose, and we were top, and then we don't win, then you can call us bottlers if you wish. But until that happens, shut up.
Yeah, exactly. I'm still getting that on. You get a social media post or stuff like that. I still get people like Bottlers FC, and you're like, oh my god, like give it a break. We're like, where are you? Who are you supporting? They don't even. And they disappear suddenly. They don't give it back. It's just like you're not happy to give it out because that's all you've got. That's all you've got. Yeah, we've competed consistently for 3 seasons, and we're top of the league at the moment. It does annoy me. It does grate me. But how boring would the league be if Arsenal weren't in it? Let's be honest. Who else are you going to talk about?
Well, yeah, and I think, you know, in general, as you know, since the Premier League started in '92 or whatever it was, you know, we've always been there or thereabouts. It was only that little blip, really. Well, we've had one blip in the sort of mid to late '90s, I think, where we finished like 8th or whatever, and then under Arteta in the first 2 seasons, really, wasn't it? I suppose.
Rebuild, you know, on that side, wasn't it? For sure. I mean, it's oh mate, I think we've got this. So I'm still buzzing. I feel the season's going to be fine. I'm just enjoying the ride. You know, it's not one in a game, is it? We've got a 38 game season to go, and we're doing well. We're better than we were previous seasons, and we just need to maintain, get some fit players back, and we'll be fine. But I've got to mention Josh while I've got some comments in here. So this is one of the guys. I appreciate you jumping in, mate. And he said, "Hey guys, first time listener, came over from Insta. Cheers for the heads up, Dan." So I've been pestering people, so apologies. But he's got 2 questions. I'm intrigued. Yeah, pop your questions in, mate, and we will go through them for you. But yeah, we'd love to hear your questions as well. That's what it's all about. Anyone else in the chat, get involved. Drop your questions. We'd love to answer them. But we digress, Josh. Apologies. But it's you know, from the point of view, I think there's a lot of haters out there. There always will be. I think that's just Arsenal for you. Little frustrating on the game because obviously the own goals aside, and obviously them scoring. I don't know if you saw the imagery, Josh, but when they scored their goal, I'll give you the time of the goal. We've been to games. Did you see the images of people walking out when they scored?
No.
So they scored in the 90th minute 1-1. I was in the pub watching this as well, and I thought, first thing I looked at was, we got 5 minutes left, and I was like, it was like, I'm not giving up. We can do this, because when the goal scores, it goes one of two ways. You get tilt going the side that's just scored, or you go, actually, let's get behind it and let's go and score. And thank Christ we did, because obviously you were just going. There were various cheers for Wolves scoring, and then a load of Arsenal fans going, "Oh, Jesus Christ!" But I didn't actually stop believing that moment. I was like, surely not. Like, it can't be. And obviously Jesus, it looked like it was a Jesus goal. And
Yeah.
I don't think he even touched it, but it come off the geezer's face. I think it was like that. And then it went in. It was, I was just so relieved, to be honest with you. More than anything, I was just like, thank Christ for that, because it was literally, within minutes. The actual goal, they scored on the 90th, we scored a 90+4, or Mosquera for their team. So we didn't we didn't score a single goal that game, but we won 2-1, which is still, it's funny, man. It is one of those things. But if it was anyone else, they'd be like, that's what champions do. That's what they do.
Or drawn the game, obviously this chat would be slightly different. However, we didn't. We did win. 3 points in the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Goal difference for the week.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Jesus, honestly, it was just too much, mate. When it took a while to recover.
We've got a bit of a break until Everton. That's away.
Here's away, which is a tough game.
Yeah.
So I've got so the colours of DFP, Josh, has got a question which kind of links in with the Everton. I don't know if you're going to. I'll read it out for you, because I'll let you go first on this. But if you had to choose one game between Palace in the League Cup, which is on the 23rd, as after Everton, or Everton in the league, to rest players, which game are you going for?
I would. Well, I don't think we've got many options in terms of resting players at the moment. I think we've got to play who we've got. But at the same time, I would prefer to rest for the League Cup, just because for me,
completely agree.
To win a cup competition, the Premier League has got to take precedence over anything.
Especially League Cup, I think. Yeah, even FA Cup, I'd be the same.
They're on the back of a loss, aren't they? They lost 2-0 to Chelsea.
Everton.
Everton lost, didn't they, to Chelsea? I think. All right there.
Joe, I'm going to bring it up. You keep talking.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they lost to Chelsea, and I don't think they played that badly. But they're a bit of a bogey team, I think, for us over recent years.
They have been, yeah.
So again, let's just go there and be positive and be let's keep the ball, let's outplay them, let's be attacking, let's not do anything rash.
Right.
Let's
play our game. I think we've got to go and do our thing. We're so capable. We just doubt ourselves.
That sometimes I sort of think like, okay, we miss Gabriel, we miss Saliba when he's out, but at the same time, like, you've got the best coaches in the world, like defensive coaches, like Gabriel Heinze. He's won stuff. He's played for some of the biggest teams in the world, and and he's kind of known for being a little bit out there and a bit kind of like aggressive with the way that he kind of coaches. And we brought him in, and I like him.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, mate, I think everyone does. Defensively, he's been great, I think, for that coach.
But I think in that respect, we need to have faith in any defender that comes on and plays. Who isn't Gabriel and Saliba, to do the job and just be tight and not do anything stupid, not give the ball away in our own half. I just think I just think we need to be, because my only worry is with teams like Everton is you'll get, well, and I've said it in previous weeks, we are
Mm.
everyone's final at the moment. I mean, that showed
Yeah,
again, like they actually didn't play that badly. I don't think that,
they actually played well, mate. I think.
they fought for the game, they wanted to get something from it.
Mm.
And yeah, and that was the same against Villa as well. Like they were really up for it, and the crowd
Yeah.
was away, so it was at their place. They had the home
Mhm.
advantage, and it'll be the same when we go to Everton's new ground. I don't even,
Yeah.
but um, but yeah, it'll be the same there. The atmosphere will be absolutely buzzing,
Mhm.
um, and their players will thrive off of that. So you'll get like
Oh yeah.
up, he'll turn
Mhm.
up. I can't even think of his name now, but there's the sort of youngish striker, unless he's gone to the Africa Cup. I don't know. I don't think what his name is. Anyway, they
Oh, I know you mean. Is it Barry? Is it him?
no, not him, He's French.
Oh,
Um,
bonjour.
yeah, sort of like Arabic sounding name. I can't think what his
Okay.
name.
No, I'm not
Um,
not too familiar.
Player, and he's aggressive. He's very attacking. Um, But yeah, I think they bought him from Marseille. Actually, he used to play for like Sheffield United or someone like that, and then he went to
Mm.
like they brought him.
Oh,
Um,
fair.
but yeah, anyway, like they'll they're going to want to play. Obviously, David Moyes' teams are always fairly solid defensively.
Mhm.
But at the same time, if we can just dominate them, there's no reason why we can't, absolutely thrash them. There's no reason. We just need to, I think we need that belief, and I think that also transpires with the whole Victor Gyökeres thing being, him being back
Yeah.
kind of and playing. We need to feed him, give him all. But
Agreed, mate. We still need to learn to play with the guy, and we because we get whipping crosses in, he can score from a header, but he's not maybe getting the reception even then. It seems to be going past him in the middle. It seems that
yeah,
was your back post generally, isn't it? You go in or across goal. But he has had a tap in from Neza and stuff like that. We
yeah,
just get the ball to him, let him do his thing. Because the difference between him and Gabriel Jesus he's got the skills, he's got the feet, but he hasn't got the power in the shot. From my experience, he places it, and he's good in that respect. But Gyökeres is raw, pure power.
yeah,
He bullies defenders. He's still taking people away from other players, and you do notice a slight change when he comes off. But I think Jesus in that respect they're just different profiles. But
yeah,
obviously, yeah. I mean, and it's nice, lovely to see Gabriel back as well. All
yeah.
good.
Just just quickly, Bournemouth are 3-2 up against
No
Man United.
way. Oh my God, go on, Bournemouth. I mean,
Yeah,
Man United, they're back. They're top six or whatever. I know stupid stuff that's going on. They're back.
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's just flashed up on my phone as well. Bonkers. We'll have to look. I've got the league before this game, but the colours of DFP as well. He said, just for sort of following on that onto that question, we got this as well. He said, considering Palace's quarters and a chance for a semi, and there's still plenty of league games to go. This is coming from your bit about injuries and fatigue. Um, it is really tricky. I mean, I still very much prioritise the league.
You're saying, but at the same time, like I said in my straight answer to the original question, I
Mm,
wouldn't. Oh, we got to just play our best players who are available.
absolutely.
Because at the end of the day, we need to win every game. That is
Mm.
the way.
No, sure.
Now we've just, no kind of like, oh, it's all right. We can afford a draw. Do you know what I mean? I
No, yeah.
like.
We can't look at the difference when we have a draw. On this as well, the difference from a draw to a win. We've lost 2 games. But even a draw, it feels like a loss. If we'd come in drawing against Wolves, oh my God, we wouldn't have heard the end of it. I'll be honest, that would have been a nightmare.
If we put out a slightly weaker side because we were trying to rotate a bit more and
Mm,
put out a side against Everton, and we ended up drawing the game, and Man
yeah.
City win. we're then level on points with Man City, and they'll be ahead of us.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
absolutely. We can't have that.
We're not in a position where we can, if we were 10 points clear, you might go, okay, let's maybe, if we can, we'll rest so and so and put so and so in because we've got ability. Obviously, we still want to win. We're still going to go there and win, but it's we can only play our best players at the moment. But I don't think we have that luxury, even though we've got such a massive squad that's full of talent. We're so depleted at the moment because of injuries that we don't have that luxury to rotate.
Can you imagine if we didn't get like the summer we had? We wouldn't be where we are, but we would be up shit creek, literally.
Yeah.
Right, so second question, Josh.
Kind of flipped in terms of at the beginning we had a lot of attacking players out, all kind of defensive capabilities, and then now it's kind of flipped where all of our attacking's coming back, but
yeah, so true, isn't it? Actually, it's mad.
And I said it, in this episode, and I've said it before. I don't think we're anywhere near playing our best football of what we're.
No, we still haven't seen our best 11.
Well, not even that. I just don't think we've played our best football. But probably the only game I would say, and that was in sort of spurts rather than consistently throughout the whole game. But Munich, that was probably we've played. I mean, some might argue against Spurs, but Spurs are shit.
Yeah, I mean that's just different when that's just a rivalry, which it was a great day. I still can't love it.
It's amazing to win the North London derby and in the manner that we did it, but at the same time, Spurs were awful. So
yeah, they were shocking, mate. And they're sitting there, 11th place. So you keep cutting out still in this audio, Josh, but I'm going to read this question too, mate. Just so he said, similar question: if you had to prioritise between the Champions League and the league towards the end of the season, which one are you going for? So he's really testing us. And again, we've had this sort of similar question before, haven't we? I know we're slightly different on it.
Yeah, for me, it's the Premier League. I think we have to prioritise it. I think that comes first in my eyes. Because I genuinely believe that if we can win the Premier League this season, we will dominate the Premier League for the next decade. And on the back of that, by winning consistently, you'll then win other trophies. So
off the back.
Yeah. So again, I think if we can just try and consistently play at that level, there is no doubt in my mind that we could potentially do the quadruple.
Oh, big talk. Can you imagine? Right. Okay. Let's clip that. Quadruple.
That's if our squad can somehow get fit, and so we haven't got everyone out.
No. Yeah.
Don't see why we couldn't actually, win the League Cup, win the FA Cup, win the league, win the Champions League.
If we played our game, man.
And I do believe there will be a time where we do probably win it all.
Oh, that'd be amazing. Wouldn't it? That would be amazing.
Decade where we are so dominant, because at the end of the day, we are a big club. We've got the financial resources as well to keep on improving the squad. We've got the development in terms of the young players coming through to keep pushing them on.
I mean, that's exciting.
Being in all 4 competitions right up until the end means that they're going to get chances. So it's again going to attract more young players. Them 2 young Ecuadorian twins that we've just bought. In or a year or whenever it is.
I think 27, isn't it? 2027.
Yeah. What's to say they won't get a chance? And they could world alike, and you might be like, wow.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, you got Dowman still, people like that coming through.
Do you know what I mean? Like the kid is literally on the cusp of brilliance.
Yeah, literally. I mean, he's got the injury, isn't he? Have you had that?
And it's just like frustrating.
Yeah, yeah,
Because this,
100%.
injuries and the games that you're going to be playing and the amount of competition he's going to be playing in, it's the ideal opportunity for someone like him to get his chance to really show what he can do. And
100%.
hope he comes back fairly soon. And I think he's out for about a month or 6 weeks or something, isn't it?
I heard 2 months, but again, it's like, and I think it's everyone's different recovery times, aren't they? So he'll be back.
Yeah.
But you're never going to play like a professional sport and not get injured, so it's all part of the game. But
That's why we've got this, this big quality squad that, we've ever had, I'd say, in terms of a squad, is the best we've ever
for sure.
but might also be our downfall in that it's not quite big enough.
Can you imagine? Oh, Jesus Christ. And then what they do in the summer, I mean, January, I didn't think we'd be doing anything, but if it continues,
Yeah, I didn't think we'd be doing anything. I thought the only potential would be for a striker, but then we'd have to offload. And I think with Jesus coming back and looking pretty sharp, I don't see that happening.
I
I
can't
think
see
I
that.
him. I think the players love him.
Mm.
I look at Arsenal and I love what I see in terms of their togetherness, in terms of
The unity aside. Mm.
yeah, touched on it last week with the whole Salah stuff.
Yes.
I don't see anyone like that in our squad that sort of like no one gets on with. Do you know what I mean? I feel like they all kind of get on with each other. They're all kind of mates. They're all, yeah. Which I like. I love to see it.
Mm. That's cool. Well, look, I'm going to bring up the league table. I'm quickly trying to remove you because I keep losing your audio, Josh. It's really hard to talk to you. Let me put the table up. Let me remove you quick and then add you back in. I don't know if it makes any difference, but I thought I'd try it. But this is obviously as it stands. This is obviously, oh, look, you can see when I took the screenshot, obviously Man United were 1-0 up. So what's the score still, Josh? Is it 3-2 still?
3-2 still to Bournemouth, yeah.
3-2. So where would Bournemouth be? Because we've got the other side. So let's have a look. Bournemouth. So they're down at 15. So where would that put them? 23. So it shoots them right up, doesn't it? I would go above possibly Tottenham, goal difference wise. Oh, no, they're going to be below. So 12th. That's not bad, though, is it?
Yeah.
And then look at Man United. So, and they're going to, stay where they are, I suppose. Nothing's going to change because everyone else has played. But top 5 and Man United, that's bonkers where they were, like, considering last year. It is quite scary, actually, where they are. I mean, and I think you were talking about Everton up there last week, obviously, and then they had a loss at the weekend against Chelsea in there. But you look at the top 3, there's still quite a bit of space between fourth downwards, from the top 3. So Arsenal are flying, Man City are doing really well. Aston Villa are keeping a firm foothold in this league table as well, which is impressive. They've had a phenomenal season, really, and they had a real big comeback against. It was at West Ham. I started watching, but that was I saw it at 2-1, and they come back to win 3-2, and I was like, bloody hell, it's hard team to beat at the moment.
Mm.
So bottom half of the table, because obviously we've got that side. Move things. That's Brighton at 10th, so Brighton are doing fairly well as well. And so that second half of the table, so sitting at the bottom, I mean, it's going to be tough to get out of that. I think Burnley's slipping if they're not careful. Leeds are just about keeping their head above water. And I mean, Nottingham Forest beating Tottenham at the weekend, absolutely smashed them 3-0. Has brought them back into it, which doesn't help West Ham out. Leeds, because realistically, I don't really want to see West Ham go down, but I like Leeds as well. But that seems to be in the bottom 5. I think it's between them.
Yeah. I think Wolves and Burnley will go down 100%. To be honest, it's tight there, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
Do you know what?
Two.
Nostalgic in terms of like say like the 90s, like when the Premier League first started and whatnot, and the sort of size teams that from decades before that as well. So like your Nottingham Forest, your Leeds, I like seeing them in the Premier League. As much as most people probably hate them, I quite like seeing them in the Premier League, so I don't really want to see them go down. But at the same time, I don't really care.
It is tricky, mate. It is tricky. But obviously, so we might as well touch on why we're talking about it. Obviously, Wolves game alone, Bruges, fantastic. Wolves was a tough day, even though we won it, but it gosh, just the way it was won. But we always do our predictions, Josh. So on the predictions, just to remind you of where we were at, because it was a crazy game. So you put Club Brugge 3-0. Absolutely smashed it. So you got the win, which is 10 points. You got the exact score, 30 points in total with your 20 and a 10. You put Wanyeri to score. Unfortunately, didn't even play, which I'm a little surprised didn't get a little bite, did he? Bad, bad. And then you put so Wolves was 4-1 Marino to score. So you got the result. You got the 10 points. So you got 40 points this week, which doubled your score. You're on 80 points. Unbelievable, mate. Fair play. I have to. So obviously from mine predictions, I put 2-0 Club Brugge because I need to mix up my scores. Martinelli to score. So I got the result and I got Martinelli. So I got 20 points, but I didn't get the score correct. And then obviously I put 3-0 Gyökeres to score against Wolves. So my week was a 30-point total. I need to add this up actually. So my 30 in the previous weeks, I was on 10. So I'm literally at 40. You're doubled my score. Absolutely smashing me up. And we're going to talk about obviously predictions for Everton. Before we go on, I have a question. So Dean, obviously, just I don't know if you were earlier. Dean said the legal day. Legal day for him on that side of things. But he also said, "Do you think some of our injuries may be due to overplaying players?"
No, I don't think it's that. I think it's sort of a culmination of a few things, really. Yes, okay, schedule, but most of the top teams have that sort of schedule. Last year, and they literally had no injuries. This year, they've had a few more injuries, but I don't think that's what's been their downfall.
I do think the schedule is bonkers. I don't know if do you know the stat, Josh? I think we haven't not played a midweek game since something like August, like 25th or something like that. We've always played weekend, midweek, because the schedule is packed. And I do think there's, and players say about too many games, and to a certain extent, I kind of agree. Then you've got the international breaks, which isn't, they're playing 2 games. They're the problem.
Yeah, I think they're the problem. We've got quite a few South American players that are obviously traveling far.
Brazilian, Ecuador, isn't it? That kind of stuff.
Yeah, Brazilians, stuff like that. So yeah, I don't. I think it is just a culmination of it all, really. I think it's a little bit unlucky.
It's definitely an element of it. And look at like Mascara, he went off for the dodgy landing, wasn't it? And that's put him out for weeks. And you just think, Jesus Christ. And that was our cover. So there has been definitely some unlucky injuries. It's just so frustrating. But then that's the killer. But that's the thing, again, why you got the squad and everything else. But I've never thought we'd be in a position where we've got actually quite a thin squad. I was thinking, yes, like summer was the best summer we'd ever had from a transfer window. Buzzing, Eze, Gyökeres, all these kind of players coming in. Zubimendi, we knew about for ages. I know people are a little bit unhappy when Madueke come in, but I think it was just the timing of it. I think if you had Gyökeres in before Madueke, you'd have gone, oh, it makes sense. Yeah, cover for Saka. And look at what he's done since he's come in. So you've kind of got all these players doing well. And then there's injuries. Everyone's been out. When you look back, most players have been out for a couple of weeks at least, or missed a couple of games. Madueke's been injured. Saka come back, and we've been bloody lucky, I think, with some of this as well. I mean, you might have been like Wanyeri might have got more time because he hasn't played much, and I don't know what the issue is there. But there's a lot of teams sniffing around. I hear about him, and I don't know.
Especially like we said, with the depleted squad and the schedule that we have, I can't see him offloading anyone, to be honest. I just think
I don't think he will. I don't think he will either.
Little bad luck, and I think hopefully he'll get a bit more time. Maybe in games like Crystal Palace, in the League Cup, that some Ranieri might get a bit more of a shout.
Yeah, he does need to.
When he starts, he's got to take his opportunity and kind of, put his stamp on the game and kind of show what he can do, because I think he's a tremendous footballer. Got so much skill. Yeah,
look at last season, the goals he scored, mate, as well, outside the box, wasn't it?
Exactly. His goal against Man and his goal against Rona as well, like the top. But yeah, I think someone like that, when he does get the opportunity, take it with both hands and go.
Yeah. And in fairness, I think almost last couple of games, Eza has been off it, and I love Eza, but he's been poor. And I don't know if it's the schedule, because bearing in mind he's come from a Crystal Palace team who play once a week, probably, generally. And then this is a big step up.
So it's not like, last season they were in Europe, because they weren't. It was this season.
Mm-hmm. And they're gonna have those challenges as well. But okay, mate. I mean, also interested, anyone in the chat box, what you think about predictions for Everton. So because we always do this every week, me and Josh have a little game we're playing. Josh is absolutely smashing me up. He's winning 80 points to 40. So the way it works is if we predict the correct win-lose draw, which obviously generally we Arsenal win. If the correct score, it's 20 points. The correct win-lose draw is 10 points. And if you get the correct scorer, it's 10 points. Bearing in mind though, Josh, we've never had this yet. If you pick the scorer who scored twice, you double. Obviously, that doubles as well. So just to throw that in there, but we've never had what? So mate, I can't hear. It's really frustrating. You're cutting out still, but I'm sure it's fine on stream. It's just me.
Every joke I say, you miss.
I know, it's so annoying. I just have to keep laughing. What are you thinking, mate, for the score?
Right, I'm going first, yeah.
Well, look, ladies first, always.
Okay.
Birthday boys first. There you
go. 3-1 to Arsenal.
Yeah, 3-1. Who's going to be your goal scorer?
Saka.
I mean, it's a good shout, to be fair. What I did find strange, though, why did Madueke not come on after having 2 fantastic goals?
Yeah.
Injured? It wasn't injured, I think, as far as I'm aware. So now I've got colour of DFP. He's predicting. I like it. I mean, you've got 2-0 Arsenal. Gyökeres and Marino. Nice. Now I'm going to put it out there. I'm going to say 2-0, because that's generally what I do. So it's obviously 0-2, but I'm going to say Jesus is a score. It's his time. It is time. So that's where I'm going to go. So I'm going to try and reap some points back, Josh. I think I just hope we bloody win and we continue where we are. And fixtures wise, I need to look at this, because I want to look at obviously the other teams and who's playing who. Where's the big games? So honestly, City's playing West Ham. Jesus Christ, that's a win, isn't it? So we need to keep momentum up. We can't be dropping any points. Even if we drew, we'd probably just be just ahead on goal difference, because I think we've not conceded as many. But what is the goal difference as well? That's something to contend when we look at the standings. So Man City, we've got a goal difference of 20 and a 22. So actually, they'd go ahead of us if we drew. So we need to win, mate.
Yeah, need to win.
Priorities. Okay. So let's go back to fixtures. So I'm going to just run down the fixtures and who we think will win, because I think this is actually really interesting to go who's doing what. So Newcastle v Chelsea. What do you think on that?
2-2 draw all day long.
You've got a draw written all over it. Bournemouth, Burnley. Should be Bournemouth, shouldn't it, really? Especially if they're still winning. Is it 3-2 still?
Still 3-2. It's only 73 minutes gone, so.
This time. Brighton, Sunderland. That's Sunderland, mate. Newcastle at the weekend. Oh.
Go Sunderland.
1-0. Yep, Sunderland. Man City, West Ham. We're saying City, let's be honest. Wolves, Brentford. I could see it being a draw,
Yeah, I could see it being a draw.
They'll triple, add another third of their points. Tottenham at home to Liverpool. Jeez. I mean, to
Win.
Liverpool win, yeah.
Yeah.
Everton, Arsenal, we've touched on. Leeds, Crystal Palace. It should be Palace, considering where they are. I still don't think Leeds are a bad side, but I think they're just going to have a tough year or tough season of it. Aston Villa, Man United.
Oof.
Good game, I think, but Villa should do it, given the result tonight and how well Villa's been playing.
Yeah. Is it at Villa Park or?
Yeah, it's at Villa, mate.
Yeah, Villa. Yeah.
And then you've got Fulham versus Nottingham Forest, which I think actually is going to be another good game. I said maybe drawing, to be fair, if Nottingham Forest are finding a bit of form. They seem to be getting better.
Big scoring draw, like a 3-3.
Yeah, I'll definitely be goals in it. They can't keep clean sheets, it doesn't seem. So I do think, well, they did at the weekend, but Fulham love a goal. Love to see Smith Rowe scoring at the weekend and stuff like that. I actually can't actually remember what Fulham's results were, to be fair. What did they do at the weekend? Because I know Smith Rowe opened it up. Where's Fulham? Fulham Burnley. Yeah, it's 3-2. 3-2. So yeah, good. I mean, there's a little bit of a place, like you said, place in my heart for because of the Arsenal boys. There's a little bit of a bit there for me. But no, it's interesting. So we've got it set for next week. We know what our expectations are. Obviously, we are interested enough. We're going to be meeting. Well, we're going to be filming a new podcast as well at the weekend. We've got myself and Josh, and we're having 2 additional people. So it's going to be the Arsenal forecast. We sort of mentioned it. We're going to give it a kind of a trial run, record it on Wednesday, and probably put it out live as a premiere on Friday before, obviously, the weekend. And it's going to be very much talking about what we forecast going forward. So play on words, but we're going to look, because we've got quite a lot of games over the Christmas break. So we're going to kind of look at all of those. Again, pretty similar sort of scoring competition, I think, would be against all 4 of us, would be fun to do. And then we'll get people's takes, I think, as well. It'll be interesting to see what people's thoughts are about the season as well so far, what someone else's takes in, because it's different. Everyone's got a different opinion. I think more heads are, better to kind of get an overall view of what people are happening. Me and Josh, I think we've got quite similar views, but Alex is coming in. We've got Guna Vinny, who's going to be joining us as a guest. And then going forward, myself, Josh, and Alex, is the plan is we're going to do that kind of once a week, but this is going to be one-off pre-Christmas. I think we maybe try and do it as a bit of a festive show. I might put a Christmas hat on, and there you go. Christmas jumpers, Josh. Got one? Yeah, Christmas jumper day. So I haven't told anyone else, but let's do it. So all ready for Christmas, and now that podcast will be running obviously over Christmas. People want a bit of Arsenal content. We're going to be talking all the run out probably to like the Aston Villa game, which is the end of December. We've got a lot of games to play. When you look at it, geez, it's a hell of a lot, to be fair. Let me find the list. I know we went through this last time, but there's so many going on. So really see when we come on Wednesday, we'll touch on the Everton game maybe in a bit more depth with everyone. Crystal Palace on the 23rd, which again is the League Cup game. I mean, we're at home to Crystal Palace. I'd like to think we win that and we go semis. And then we've got the only thing with the semis, it's the 2-leg thing, which is bloody stupid. Just stick it, if you can't do it in Wembley. What's the point? Or just do the draw like normal. We don't need any more games. Then on the 27th, we're at home again to Brighton.
Yeah,
I think we should, and then Aston Villa on the 30th at home. So we've got actually 3 home games on that run. And then Bournemouth, then Liverpool at home. Like Bournemouth away, Liverpool at home. So actually we've got quite a nice run of games, I think. And then Portsmouth, FA Cup. So again, really good time to rotate players. See Ranieri come in, see Miles Lewis-Skelly come in, the youngsters again. So we've got a real good run of games. But I think we'll talk to the end of the year. I think it'll be a good to kind of recap, but get people involved. So if you want to kind of get involved, guys, if you're still watching, we've got quite a few people watching online still. I mean, we're going to round up really, but if you have any questions you want to ask us, chuck it in the chat now. If not, forever hold your peace. I'll give it a few minutes. And obviously from Josh, anything you want to touch on, Josh, any questions you have for me? No.
Well, actually, the only question I've got for you is the new podcast. Is that still obviously going to be through your channel? Dan's all about art.
Exactly the same thing. It's just a different podcast, essentially. So I'm not going to try and start because it all runs through that. Essentially. So same thing, because we obviously everyone we've got following us so far, hopefully will continue to follow. We've got both podcasts. We're not going anywhere. Monday nights are our thing, but it's just going. I want to expand. I want to speak to more people, get more opinions, and it just brings complete different, vibe to everything and what people think. Vinny, we had a really good chat. I met Vinny on. We did a live phone in, and bless him, he was the only bloke who phoned in because I just started the channel, and we had a really good chat. He's a really nice guy, good insight. I know he went to the Wolves game actually because he messaged me to say he's going along, so it'd be good to see his thoughts. But I mean, touching on that's one thing I would say, because we're supporters of Arsenal. That's why we're here. And it did really frustrate me that there's people walking out on the 90th minute. And it was me, people don't get to go often. I mean, if it's season ticket holders, they're trying to get home or whatever, there's going to be an element of that. I get that. But I think as supporters, we should support. I'd be gutted if I walked in that stadium and there's a goal 4 minutes later and I'd missed it. You'd have heard it trying to get out. And you'd have gone, oh, God. Like, can you imagine missing that? So I just think for people watching and privileged to go to the game, stay and watch the game. You have to enjoy this. And it's just biggest frustration. We don't get to many games. We went to a couple of games recently, and we stay always, to the last minute. Or if the game's done, fine. But not in that after that. Don't just walk out, abandon your team. Support the Arsenal. That's all I say. Got one more question that's jumped in here. So, anyone giving or expecting any Arsenal-related Christmas presents this year? Santa's Guna. Hopefully we'll be getting some. I'm probably the easiest to buy for. If it's anything Arsenal related, I'll be happy giving stuff. Good question. I'm trying to think. I can't say it because I've seen it. They might be watching, but my nephew, we've got something Arsenal related, which is pretty cool. So absolutely, but I can't say. You've got to be careful in these things. It's live, it's to the public and all that kind of stuff. But Josh, your kids, I know Josh has got about 15 kids. How many have got Arsenal shirts, Josh?
Fortunately, most of them have gone with Liverpool. It's only one of my daughters.
Josh, I didn't know this.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to cut your sponsorship, mate.
Son did. He's obviously Liverpool, but he's only 5. But he did say, "Oh, actually, I quite like your team, Daddy." So when obviously I went to the North London derby and everything, and I sort of sent a few videos over, and we're all going Arsenal, and I come back home and both because he's a twin, and they both were going Arsenal.
You sent the videos and stuff. But it's funny because the colour of DFB just read out. It's a stupid question, really, come to think of it. But it's true, mate. It's true. You can't give it away. Santa Claus and all that kind of stuff. He might be listening, and the kids, can't know what he's getting them. But no, I mean, we're looking forward to it. We've got a big family Christmas coming up, and I think we're going to have one more of this kind of podcast before Christmas because it's next Monday, and then it'll probably be us. I haven't actually looked at the calendar how the days fall. In fairness, Josh, but I imagine everyone's going to be fairly busy. But let me have a look. I should bring a calendar up. It's not playing ball. Bear with. But what's your plans, Josh? Are you with family? You were saying with Kelly's lot?
Laws on Christmas Day and other in-laws on Boxing Day. And then up to my parents for New Year's Day.
Nice. That should be good then. Well, I think realistically, I don't know, we'll have I'm not sure about the 29th if we just then leave it to the 5th. We'll have to maybe see because I'm about on the 29th, but don't know where you are, mate. So we'll reconvene, maybe do that, but we'll definitely have one next week on Monday just to talk about what's happened so far and everything else. But obviously join us back here. We'll do a premiere of the actual recorded forecast as well. We're going to record it Wednesday, but I don't think we can do it live because it's the first one, and then we can just work out the bugs. And then obviously we're going to launch it live a couple of days later on Friday, probably about 8 o'clock premiere. But with the premiere, Josh, you put it on for the first time. It's like you're watching it live, kind of thing, because you can watch and get involved in the chat if people are watching and stuff like that. So it could be quite fun. We'll do it that way to start and see what happens.
Yeah,
should be good. Sweet. But I'll see you catch up with you Wednesday. And go from there, mate. We'll play the outro, which is also the intro, and and go from there. But we still love it. I need to make one actually for the forecast, mate.
Yeah.
Common you Gunners. But everyone, thanks again for joining. Thanks for staying to the end. Thanks for all the questions. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next one, Josh.
Listen.